Hey, Anissa. Thanks so much for joining us for this project management information panel webinar. Could you please just briefly introduce us yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Lucia Jordan. I am the program coordinator for the management vertical. So what that means is I manage all of our management certificate programs from project management, SHRM, bookkeeping, payroll, and courses with that.
Perfect. Um, so we do have some students ask a lot of questions before they register for the course. I'm going to share with you some of the questions. So students will ask what are the education requirements to take the project management program?
So I do want to reiterate first that we as KSU, we have our own prerequisites, but I always advise students to check the PMI website to make sure that they have the requirements to be eligible to sit for the certification exam. So that is something that I do like to let students know because we are not directly tied to their certification exam. We are an education partner, but we are not tied to the physical exam. We offer a preparatory course. So for our preparatory courses, the prerequisite is a high school diploma or equivalent working experience, as well as having access to computers and internet because you will need that when it comes to accessing your course materials. But we always try to reiterate to students that they still need to do their due diligence and check the PMI website to make sure that they're eligible to sit for the actual certification.
Gotcha. So I believe you covered next question because next question is it a PMP prep course? So I believe the answer is yes.
Yes, we are strictly a prep course. We are not a prerequisite to sit for the certification exam. We are only a preparatory course where, you'll be going over, the application process and what that looks like. You'll be able to sit with other project managers to talk about the field. There will be specific topics that you guys will discuss as far as your course material, but we are strictly only a preparatory course.
Gotcha. Yeah, so also what are the books and materials are needed for this course and what is the cost?
So I do want to add that the cost, the cost of your textbook is included with the overall tuition cost for the course. So your textbook is included once you pay for the actual course. I just want to make sure I put that out first so you know that you don't have to pay for anything extra. Um, so you will have access to your textbook as well as online access to VelociTeach, which is the database that is used that has a lot of the project management materials, a lot of certification exam materials, as well as where you'll be taking all of your quizzes for the certification, well, not for the certification exam, but for the certificate program with us here at KSU. Did I answer all of those questions, or I feel like I'm missing one?
No, I think you covered the what books and materials are needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get all of our textbooks directly from VelociTeach. We have a system where once you pay for the tuition of the certificate course, we send your information to VelociTeach for your book order, and they ship it directly to you. We as KSU, we do not ship your textbooks. Your textbooks will come directly from VelociTeach. And I do want to make a point that whatever address you use to register for our certificate course is the address we give to VelociTeach in order to ship your textbook. So please do be mindful of whatever address you use to register. We send that address to VelociTeach directly so they can ship your textbook. So we do not allow any PO boxes because we can't ship your course materials to a PO box, so it would need to be an home address that is used when you register, because we take that and give it to Velocity and they ship it to you directly.
Gotcha. So Anisha, does the cost of this course include the cost for the certification exam, or students still need to register with PMI and pay for it separately?
So our course cost is not included with the actual exam. You will have to go directly to the PMI website to apply and pay for the certification exam. We are only a preparatory course, so we give you your study materials for our course and study materials that you can use to prepare for the exam. But in order to actually apply and pay for your exam, you would have to do that directly through PMI.
Gotcha. And some students say like they understand the book are provided when they register, but what if they want to purchase them on their own and start getting familiar with that, to register our course? What kind of suggestions do you have about that?
So with that, I would say that can kind of be a sticky situation, because I do understand a lot of times students want to prepare ahead of time. But because we get our textbook and all course materials directly from Velocity, we get all of the updated and most current material. So that is something that I do want to make sure everybody understands, is because we are going directly through Velocity. They provide us with all of the most up-to-date project management course materials and study materials that students need. So I would suggest going directly through us to get your course materials, because if you do go on your own, you may not have everything that your classmates will be getting, because your classmates will also have online access. They will also have access to a lot of online study materials, study cards, different type of exams, and because Velocity gives you your own personal access code to get into their website, that might be something you miss out from if you decide to get your own materials. And because the textbooks and your online materials are included in the tuition cost, me personally, I feel like it would be more beneficial to fully invest all of your money with our course and getting the materials sent directly to you from Velocity.
Got you. Yeah, this is very good information to learn, Anisha. And also students ask about, can they take the course online? What are those options for students to take?
So students can take the class online live if they do decide. We do offer students the option to register via online live or in person. I do want to reiterate that once you register for your preferred method, we do ask that you stay with that method throughout the entire course, because we do have a strict attendance policy. We just prefer that students stick with that preferred method, but you can take the class online live, and what that means is you will access the virtual classroom through what's called Moodle, and we use that here at KSU for students to access the actual certificate course that they have paid for. And you would access the virtual classroom, and that is pretty much the live in-person class being streamed. So you will be able to see your instructor. You won't be able to physically see your classmates, but you'll be able to hear them. You'll be able to speak with them. But the online live portion pretty much means that the in-person class is streaming live. So with our project management classes, they typically start around 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. So you would join the virtual classroom at that designated time every week, and you would participate in class. So instructors still take attendance for online live students the same way they would for in person. But we do have the option, because we do know that we are working with working professionals, and everybody's work schedules are different, and everybody's lives are set up differently. So if you would like to take the course online, you can. You would join virtually at the designated time of the specific class every week, and you will be able to engage in the class that way.
So, what does hybrid mean?
So our hybrid classes pretty much means it's a blended schedule of live course meetings and online coursework. So you have your scheduled live class sessions where you would be physically meeting with the instructor, and it would be an instructor-led classroom session, whether you're online, live, or in person. But the other portion of hybrid is that students are required to do online coursework where it will not be instructor-led. You can still reach out to your instructor, email them if you have any questions, but that online coursework will be done on your own. You will receive a schedule, a class schedule for the course, and it will give you a breakdown of what days you will be physically meeting with your instructor and what days you will be required to do your online coursework on your own. Now, your online coursework doesn't necessarily mean you have to do the work at a specific time, but it does mean that you do have a specific time frame to get that work completed, because that next week you will have even more work to do. So that's why I like to tell students that your class schedule definitely needs to be your best friend, because you will be getting a lot of coursework for our certificate program. You will be going through a lot of material with your instructor during those instructor-led class sessions. But for your online coursework that you do on your own, that's a lot of time that you will have to devote to reading and studying, as well as taking your quizzes.
Gotcha. So does this course offer credit?
So we do not offer a college credit. We are specifically a certificate course, so you will receive a certificate of completion once you pass the course. And we like to call CEUs, which are continuing education units that we provide, but we do not offer college credits, and this cannot be used as a way for you to transfer college credits or apply credits to an academic degree. You're only a certificate program.
Gotcha. Will this course give enough hours to cover the PMP or CAPM that required by the PMI?
Yes, this course satisfies the 35 hours of project management training required by the PMI to sit for the CAPM certification exam.
Gotcha. So after completing the course, the students wondering, do we provide assistance in submitting applications for PMP certification exam?
So we do not offer assistance with submitting your application, but our instructor, Kimberly Bryant, is very much well knowledge in what that application process looks like, and she does speak on the application process during class, not necessarily saying it's a required topic, but students do like to ask about it, so she does give helpful tips about what you need to look for, what to be mindful of, but we specifically do not offer assistance in the process of submitting your application.
Got you. This is great to know. And also, Anisha, students ask, so do they need to have working experience for as a project manager position or to take this course, or they don't need to have any working experience, in the previous experience related to project management and to take this course?
So I will say, for this course, you don't necessarily have to have an extensive amount of experience, but I will say that this program really works in favor of people who want to sit for the PMP or the CAPM certifications. So we are a registered education partner, with the PMI, but I do want to reiterate that it is very important that you go to the PMI website to see exactly what's eligible to sit certification exam. Because a lot of times we have some students that are new beginners in project management, or they may not necessarily have the title of a project manager, but their work experience and responsibilities in past jobs align with project management. So
Right.
first step, I would definitely suggest visiting that PMI website to see exactly what it takes to sit and be eligible for their certification exam. But for us specifically at KSU, we don't necessarily require you to have a specific amount of work experience or the degree that aligns with project management, as again, we are only a preparatory course to help you study for the certification exam. So ultimately, that deciding factor is the requirements that PMI has to sit for their certification exam. But yes, you still can take our certificate course to complete it. We have some students that take our course not necessarily to take the certification exam, but because they're in a specific position at their job that aligns with project management, and they need some type of certificate course to help boost up their careers for their specific company. And then we have some students that are solely on trying to prepare for their certification exam, and I need help. So, it really just depends on what you want to do with your career. But before you make any decision, I would definitely say to visit that PMI website to see what it takes to be eligible for their certification exam, and you can make your pathway from there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anicia. Do you know what percentage of students that complete the certificate programs that move forward and receive their certifications?
So we do not have that physical information on hand, as we don't require students to report back if they passed or not. We do have some students that will reach out to the instructor to let them know that they are taking the exam or that they passed. But as far as an accurate number, we do not have that information, as it's not a requirement for students to report back on whether or not they have passed, and also because we are not directly tied to the certification exam, we don't necessarily get that information back once students decide to sit for their exam, because students take their exams at different times. Some students take it directly after the class is over. Some students wait months after the class is over. So we don't necessarily have that percentage of the passing rate of students that have taken it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anicia. The last question is, do you have anything else that you would like to share to this like prospective students in terms of the project management certificate program?
I definitely would like to say our program is very rigorous. It can get overwhelming at times because of how much information you're learning. And that's why I said earlier, your class schedule will be your best friend, because it will literally give you a guide of what you'll be learning, and kind of how you have to schedule yourself and discipline yourself to not only being present for class and participating in class, but also making sure that you do your own studying at your own time at home without your instructor or your classmates. Something else I want to make sure students understand when it comes to your quizzes, it is best that you do not wait until the last minute to take your quizzes. The due dates for your quizzes are a little, they're not on the strict side, but at the same time, it can get very overwhelming, and it can be very dangerous if you wait until the last minute to take your quizzes. Because I've seen a lot of students that have done their midterm and their final, and they participated in class, but they waited until literally like the last 2 weeks to take their quizzes. And by the last 2 weeks, your mind isn't even focused on quizzes. It's really just preparing for your final and trying to make sure that you got all of your ducks in a row to really prepare for the certification exam. So it is really best that when your quizzes become open and available for you to take, that you take them within a reasonable time frame. Even though, yes, you are allowed to take your quizzes as many times as you want, it still can be detrimental if you wait until the last minute because you'll be rushing. You really won't be as present and focused as you should be. So that is something that I definitely want students to understand. It's best to take your quizzes throughout the course and at a decent pace and within decent time frames because it can be overwhelming at the end if you wait to the last minute. Our instructor is very professional. She herself is certified, has been certified for many years. You will be in good hands when it comes to our certificate course. She makes sure that the class is very engaging. She makes sure that she asks questions and that you guys feel comfortable to ask her questions about the field and about the exam. The course can be a good time, but at the same time, it definitely requires a lot of discipline and really requires you to be present and active within the actual course as well.
All right, Anisia. So would you be able to tell us what you can learn from this project management program?
So not only will this program help you prepare for the CAPM and the PMP exams, but you'll also be able to learn about the aspects of projects, including your integration, scope, time, cost, human resources, quality, communications, and professional responsibility.
All right. So can you please just let us know what kinds of topics that are covered under this project management certificate program?
So some topics that are covered include risk management, communications management, resource management, quality and cost management, agile, scheduling management, integration, professional responsibilities, stakeholder management, as well as scheduling management.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anisia, for all the information that you share with our students. I do believe this is very helpful for them to understand this course, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so we have Kimberly Bryant here. She is our project management instructor. Kimberly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and provide a brief explanation of your career in project management?
Sure. So, Kimberly Bryant, my background, an executive MBA from Kennesaw State University, and I also have a bachelor's from Spelman, master's certification in project management and brings out Six Sigma. And I have over 20 years of experience with both with program and project management, portfolio management, large process and transformation initiatives, and originally from New Orleans, and enjoying teaching the class.
Thank you for that. Is this class useful for someone that is new to the field of project management, or should a student have prior experience before taking this type of course?
So I would say it's a little bit of both, but to help ground you in the material, I think it's better to have a little bit of understanding of project management fundamentals first. But overall, it gives you the full gamut and experience of project management and what the certification requirements are.
Got it, understood. Can you describe a typical night for your class session and how you keep students engaged in the material?
Sure. So I usually walk through what the material is that we're going to cover for the night. I often have group projects and activities to make sure I keep the group engaged. I also, make sure that I ask the questions, make sure the students are trying to review the material in advance, so it is a true dialogue and not me just talking at the students.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that as well. Can you provide us with some topics that are covered throughout the course?
Sure. So essentially, we talk about how you need to go about actually getting your project management certification. We talk about what the requirements are for your certification, and then the various topics, including the fundamentals of project management and each process area for PMI for your project management certification. So we go through the full list of all of those knowledge areas and all of the processes.
Okay. And last question, since speaking of, you reviewing the overall process of applying for the PMP exam and the certification, can you describe what the application process is like for the actual PMP exam and what certain tools should students make sure they include while they are in the process of filling out their applications and preparing for the exam?
Yes, so essentially the requirements, if you have a high school diploma, you have to have 60 months of experience and 35 hours of formal project management education, a 4-year degree. For GAC accredited program, you need 36 months of experience and then 35 hours of education. But you have to actually prepare yourself by one, taking your courses, essentially doing the research, making sure you have the PMBOK guide, the project management body of knowledge guide to make sure you're fully grounded and grasp the material. And then you have to submit your application with all of the details that I outlined for the requirement.
Okay, thank you so much for that information, Kimberly. That is very, very helpful for students because we always get students that have severe questions about the application process. So it's very helpful that their instructor is able to give them as many helpful tips as possible during that process. So we truly appreciate your feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have our student ambassador, Erica Miller, who is a current student in our project management certificate program. Erica, could you give us a little bit of information about yourself and why you decided to register for our project management course?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica Miller, and I am currently the Talent Development Programs Manager for Genuine Cards Company here in Atlanta. And basically what that translates into is I am responsible for putting together training development programs for various roles in our company. Been in the role for approximately 90 days, a little more than 90 days. So the reason that I applied for the project management course is that I am, with the transition to my new position, I am a individual contributor that will be working on a lot of different projects. So while I've worked on projects in the past, I thought getting a little bit more formal education and learning how the process worked would be helpful to my success in my new role.
Okay, thank you for that. Do you feel that your classroom experience has enhanced your knowledge and skill set as a project manager?
Yes, most definitely so. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've worked on projects in the past, and they always say that hindsight is 20/20. So as I was going through class from the first day that we opened the book and we started defining vocabulary and talking about the way projects are organized and different perspectives on how people approach projects and managing them, I was reflecting on my past experience as project manager, where I was going more on my intuition than I was on my knowledge. And so hindsight is definitely 20/20, and it helped me to put a lot of things together. And in the process of doing so, I learned that I was doing some things right and I was doing some things wrong. But again, the key to the whole process, now that we're almost to the end of the quarter or semester, is that vocabulary is big. And just understanding how the full picture process works together. I think it's been a great asset and it will definitely help.
Okay, thank you for that. Do you plan on taking the PMP exam after completing this course?
Yes, so I believe that Kimberly mentioned that there is an application process that we have to go through. through. So next week, I'm going to start on putting together my application, make sure I'll have my information correct. That way, within the next month is my current plan for taking the exam. That way I won't be too far away from the course material and actually take the class. So yes, I will work on applying for the exam and completing it within the month of completing the course.
Okay, great. And I wish you the best of luck on that. I know you've been working hard to study as much as you can. I have a question in regards to the method that you took this class. Did you take this class in person or online live?
Originally, when I signed up for the class, I signed up for the online live version. I was a little hesitant because I'm a little old school, like to be sitting in the classroom where I can raise my hand and get attention. But just for my scheduling purposes with work and everything else that was going on, the online version or date was a little bit more applicable to my schedule. But Kimberly did extend the option to come in to the classroom if you wanted to. So I did a little of both. I attended a couple of classes in session, and but the majority I was at home. And both experiences were good. I mean, you save time. With being online, you saved a lot of travel time. You had few interruptions and distractions. Being in class, you had the people interaction, just seeing other people. So I mean, it's positive. It's definitely either experience was valuable in my opinion.
Got it. And I'm glad that you kind of explained your experience on both ends, because that was actually going to be one of my next follow-up questions. What your experience has been, but I'm glad that you were still able to take away from the class, regardless if you were in person or online live. And my second question for you is, what is one of your biggest takeaways from this course so far?
I believe that the biggest learning point is the importance of documentation and planning. Plan, document, and you can always go back and you can fill in the gaps, and you can make sure that you're following the process. If there's steps that you're missing, you can always find them. So yes, definitely the importance of planning and documentation are the key points that I've taken away.
Okay, great. And I want to say thank you again for your time and for giving us your own personal experience of taking the project management class here at KSU. We truly appreciate your feedback.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks so much for joining us for today's information panel. Could you please briefly introduce us yourself?
Yeah, my name is Ryan Capps. I'm the registration manager here at the College of Professional Education. Been in higher ed for about 16 years, with a background in financial aid.
Perfect, thank you. What are the financial aid options for this course?
Yeah, so for the financial aid options that are available for this course, we do offer payment plans, VA education benefits, including MyCAA to those who qualify, WIOA, and student loans.
Could you please let us know how does the payment plan work?
Yeah, so for the payment plan, how it works is the amount of the course is broken into 4 payments, 4 equal payments of 25%. The first is due at the time of registration. The second is due by the first day of class. The remaining 2 are spread over the length of the program. You can view more information about that on our website, cpe.kennesaw.edu, under the Student Resources tab. Then click on Financial Aid, and then Payment Plans. Under there, there's more information as well as a request form to request that payment plan.
Sounds good. Is there a enrollment fee if you would like to set up payment plans?
There is an enrollment fee. It's a one-time $50 fee that is added onto that first payment. So your very first payment would be the first 25% of the course plus that one-time $50 fee.
Gotcha. What are the processes for students who want to apply for the military benefit?
For students who want to apply for military benefits, the first step is there is a VA information form that is on that cpe.kennesaw.edu website. Under the Student Resources Financial Aid, and there's a section for military benefits. You want to fill it out. Just kind of explains how your military benefits work and lets us know which chapter that you want to use. In addition to that, we would need your certificate of eligibility that breaks down exactly what you do qualify for. And then if you are using Chapter 30 or Post 9/11 GI Bill, we would need a copy of your DD 214. If you are using MyCAA, which is a benefit for spouses of military service members, you would first need to contact your MyCAA advisor. And if you do qualify, you could reach out to us and we'll get you your education and training plan, or your ETP, and you can submit that back to your advisor to kind of get the process started for that.
All right. So what about WIOA?
Yeah, so WIOA is a benefit for students that are unemployed or underemployed, low income, that can help pay for the cost of a course. To apply for this, again, you can go to our website, cpe.kennesaw.edu. Under Student Resources, Financial Aid, there's a section for WIOA. It's broken down by the region of the state that you're in. So you want to find your appropriate region, click on the link and apply, and that'll tell you if you are eligible for it. And then from there, they'll let you know the next steps of what you need to turn in, as well as what you need from us, and we'll assist you with that process.
Great. So is there any employer voucher students can use? And also some students will have their employer to pay for the course. So what are the processes look like if their employer pay for it?
Yeah, so if you have an employer that is willing to pay for your course, what we would need is we would need something from your employer, such as like a voucher, essentially stating that they will pay for the course. With it, there can't be any contingencies on it, such as need to receive a certain grade or anything like that. But as long as they state they will pay for the course, we can accept that. Once we get that, we'll register you for the course and then send an invoice to your employer for payment. So you would not need to come out of pocket to cover that course.
That's good. Is there any discount for KSU students or staff member, faculty member? And how to apply for them, and any discount for KSU or CPE alumni?
Yeah, there is. So for KSU students, staff, faculty members, we do offer a 25% discount on our courses here at CPE. And then we do offer a 10% discount for our online courses. For KSU and CPE alumni, we do offer a 10% discount on all those courses. If you do qualify for those, you would want to give us a call. We'll just need to verify that you are a current student or alumni. We can get that discount applied for you and take that off the cost of the course.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ryan. These are very helpful information for our students to understand better about the financial aid option. Yes, and then we do have some more questions from students about registration for the course. So can this course be applied toward a college degree?
Unfortunately, it cannot. Our courses are considered non-degree and non-credit. They are awarded CEUs, which are continuing education units, but they are not transferable towards a degree.
All right. So what kind of application do students need to complete for professional education course?
So most courses do not require any type of application. There are some that do require an application or a placement exam. But what I would recommend is you want to check the specific program information page for more details. But most of our courses do not require any sort of application.
Okay, so students also ask, do they need a transcript from their own school to provide for the registration?
They do not. So our courses are open to the general public, so we do not require any transcripts from previous education.
Awesome. So what is the refund policy?
So if you register for a course and then decide that it's not for you, the refund policy is as follows. If you cancel 3 or more business days before the beginning of the class, you will receive a 100% refund. If you cancel 1 to 2 business days before the beginning of the class, is an 80% refund. And once the class begins, there is no refund given is 0% refund at that point.
Okay, so what happens if the course is canceled?
If the course is canceled, we will give a 100% refund, or you also have the option to transfer to an equivalent course. So we can just move you to another course if there's one that fits your needs, but if not, we will give a 100% refund.
Perfect. Students also are wondering, what are the deadlines to apply for the program?
Yeah, generally speaking, it is 5 days before class begins, but we do want to warn students classes do fill up. So we always encourage students don't wait too long, but 5 days before class begins will be the deadline. If it is less than 5, it will depend on if there are still spots available and if there are any applications that are required for that class.
Awesome. So can students register by fax or mail?
They can. They can register by fax at 470-578-9085. On our website, there is a registration form that they can fill out and fax in. They can also mail that in to KSU College of Professional Education at 3333 Busby Drive, number 3301, Kennesaw, Georgia, 30144.
Sounds good. All right, so next question is, how does it look like after students get registered? Which means what kinds of materials or information they are going to receive before the class starts.
Yeah, so once you complete your registration, you will receive a registration confirmation email from the registration office. It's going to break down the course or courses that you registered for, as well as showing how the course was paid for. It'll show the dates and times, the room that it's in, all that information. Also on your student dashboard on our website, you'll be able to see your current registrations that are upcoming, as well as any previously completed courses. You will also receive some information from the program manager as it gets close to that start date, welcoming you to the program and letting you know any information that you will need.
Perfect. So students also have several questions here. They want to know, after they complete the course, how do they request a transcript?
Yeah, so again, on our website, cpe.kennesaw.edu, under the Student Resources tab, there's a frequently asked questions section. Under there, you'll see a bunch of information, but section 2, and it's points 1, 2, and 3 is going to have a lot of good information for you. So the first bullet point on there says, how do I request a transcript? It'll explain all the information. There is a form that you fill out to request the transcript that comes through to our office, and then we'll review that and get that process sent out for you.
Perfect. And they also ask, how do they request certificate replacement?
So in that same spot, it's the second bullet point. We'll say, how do I request a certificate replacement? Again, there's a request form on there. You can click on that, fill it out, come through to our office, and we'll get that filled out and sent out for you.
Great. And also another one is, how do they request an enrollment verification record?
Yep. Same spot. It's just the third bullet point. We'll say, how do I request an enrollment verification record? Again, there is a request form you fill out right there. It'll come through to us, and we'll get that taken care of for you.
Sounds good. So Ryan, I think most of the questions are already covered for the registration and financial aid. Is there anything else that you would like to share from our registration office or financial aid side, like the contact information?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to register for the course, we talked about you can fax or mail. You can also go online to the website cpe.kennesaw.edu. You can register and pay online for your course. You can also call us at 470-578-6765, option 1, and we'd be happy to help you over the phone. You can also come in person. You come in, just give us a call, and come out and meet you and assist you for whatever questions that you do have.
Sounds good. Is there any particular email address that students can reach out for financial aid questions?
Yes, you can reach out to us at CEREG, that is CEREG, at kennesaw.edu. That comes directly to the registration office with any registration or financial aid questions, and we'll be happy to assist you with those. We usually try to get back to students within 1 business day of reaching out. So if you want to email us, you can reach us there.
Perfect.